Okay, I'm just going to share my screen and then we're going to get moving here quickly. We've got a lot to go through today. And today we are going to reveal a few eye-openers for people around the world. And just guys, if everybody can just mute themselves. I'll try and mute people here, but if everybody can just mute themselves, and I'll have it. Seems like I just can't mute everybody there, but okay. It seems like everybody's muted. Yeah, let's quickly get into this, and then what I'm going to do is let's spend about 10 minutes. I'm going to go through a few coins. That recording is only going to be about 10 minutes. We'll upload that for the rest of the members, and then for the webinar members, we will go into a little bit more detail. And trust me, this information is something that you really want to see. So let me first just make sure that we are recording. Yes, we are. Okay, guys, today is 4 July 2019, and here in Australia it's 8:30 in the morning, and it's Friday 5 July. Let's quickly have a look at Bitcoin at the granular cycle. Remember this year, guys, some of you that followed us here way back in 2017, we came out with this granular cycle, and since then, you know, it's actually literally following that granular cycle here. From the bottom here, you can see it's got leg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for those people who don't understand it, it's just a technical indicator with 5 waves. Then we had an ABC correction here in May of 2014. See that where my mouse is now? And then again, the same pattern that repeated itself there has now repeated itself here. See that pattern there where my mouse is now? This pattern here. Between 2015 and it went up as high on 18 December 2017 to about 20,000. Then last year, 2018, we had a ABC correction again. A repeat of this, a repeat of that. Now what we are having is we are having another repeat of this cycle, this cycle. It's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That cycle ultimately is going to take Bitcoin to $82,000 and potentially as high as $190,000 or $300,000 very, very quickly. Now, this is what we see at the moment. Now, in the big scheme of things, if you bring this down, my computer is just very slow for the time being. If you bring this down, you will see that this is only leg 1. We are now in leg 1. Let me just, that's my computer so slow here. So that whole cycle here is leg 1, leg 2, leg 3, 4, and 5. And that leg 5 there is going to take Bitcoin to $3.7 million for one Bitcoin. But what is going to happen from now, and you can see that, we just see that happening straight away right now, is the fact that what is happening in the markets right now is something called hyperinflation, but it's actually worse than hyperinflation. What it does, it includes the tariffs that we have all around the world on different countries. It includes the discord in fiat currencies, with other countries trying to buy oil and gas in cryptos and gold. There's a whole mix of things in play here now. So this is what we call something like hyperinflation. As I say, there's not a word for that yet. It will come out soon, what that word is. But it's going to be a disruption of fiat and technology. Now, be prepared that if you are retired, and I said this on the previous call that we had, the previous call to Africa, and I said to those people there, if you are 60, 65, 70, 80, or 100 years old, if you keep your money in the banks, be prepared that you'll be wiped out, because the purchasing power of your money, of your fiat currencies, are going to disappear. I've mentioned this to family members, and they literally laugh at me, and they don't take action. But if they have $500,000 in their bank account, in 5 years from now, that $500,000 may only buy $100,000 or less. The banks are happy to keep your money. They only give you 1 or 2%, but you forget about the unseen loss that you don't see. You must be in cryptos, gold, or silver. And remember, guys, just for the start, this is not financial advice. we've been working with the Securities and Exchange Commission, and thank you very much for the SEC being very nice that they've requested that we do not tell people when to buy and when to sell. It's something that you need to make your own decision upon. So this entire video here is training and education purposes. And again, thank you for the SEC. Unlike what people think, they're actually really good. They can easily come and threaten you, but it's not what they do. So we're going to try and stay within those lines that they want us to stay. This is training and education. Let's quickly get into Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, if I just quickly go back here, thank you. Just for all the new people that is on board, you can see here that Bitcoin right here at the bottomed here, and it went into block AA, BB, CC is here, and then DD. This whole line here, guys, is a granular cycle or small part of the granular cycle. And this is what we call just a cycle, an ABCD cycle. There are going to be 4 of these cycles. The other cycle, let me see if I can just show you this. The other cycle is the cycle that we are in now. Where is that? The other cycle is this cycle which we are in now, and that cycle is going to take Bitcoin to well over 22,000, probably as high as about 40,000. And this is the cycle where we are now. This is the new up cycle that will begin. The cycle has not yet started. It's in the formation process. And what I'm going to do is to zoom into this area here. And let me just delete that pink line just to get some clarity on the screens here. Now this cycle here is going to take Bitcoin upwards into this box here of A+. We could go high as $15,000, and new data now, as of this morning, is showing that we could even go as high as $17,000. We are going to see an uptrend here into block A+, but be prepared that we are still going to see a drop into a lower level. Wherever that drop is, we first need to wait and see where that high point is. Then we can come back and say where this drop will be. I believe that this red line here could potentially be the support. So if it drops, it could be in the level of about 8.6, but be prepared that we could go as low as 7.5. Remember that figure previously was about 4.616. It's got to do with this algorithm line, this Python y-axis. I do not believe that Bitcoin will drop below the Python y-axis. If Bitcoin drops below the Python y-axis, we need to sell everything, because there is a big chance then that Bitcoin could go as low as $1,000, even to $100. So as long as this Python y-axis holds, we are good. And I believe that it can come down, maybe even touch this MS52 line. And you can see that that MS52 line is probably going to stop here at about 9.6 or 10,000. Closer to that time, we're going to show you where that drop, where the low point will be. But for now, all we need to know is that there's 2 things that's going to happen. We are expecting an uptrend into 15 or 17,000 in Bitcoin, and then we're going to have a drop. So as long as we have that in our mind, that's good. Let's quickly get into Litecoin. Litecoin, why is that showing? Okay, that's the inverse. Okay, with Litecoin, you will see that in Litecoin we posted a blog post and we showed how Litecoin is actually going to form.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say there's nothing on the screen, but it just came up.
Oh yeah, okay, Bill, no, that's good. Okay, with Litecoin specifically, and we're going to go into detail here a little bit later. Remember this, we've got this pink line here. We expect Litecoin to actually break out upwards into this level. The high point could be anywhere between 164, 179, and 189. That should actually be about 189. Then what we're going to see is a drop. This red one here is a drop of 42%, a rise of about 32%, basically forming downwards in this channel. Pay attention to this blue box here. This blue box is really important that you understand. What's going to happen here is that we're going to have a drop here of about 38% from that sideways action, and a divergence of between 80 and 100% in Litecoin. When you see that drop, like a zigzag drop, It's going to go sideways and then break out, and it's going to go up to over $1,000. So, and we can come back and review that again. Now, this one here, this one here is again Ethereum. Ethereum is right there at the moment. We expect a uptrend here of 408, 469, maybe as high as 511. Again, what I've done, I've given you the up cycle of about 52%. And sorry, let me just mute everybody there again. And then we can have a drop here, up cycle here, a drop, and you can simply follow those drops. I will follow that with you over the next week or two, up till here about 18 September. Don't look at the dates here on the bottom. The dates are not 100% correct. We just had to squash all these, the red and green up cycles. We just had to squash them in there. Okay, so we're going to have a breakout here at that point there, breaking the red line. This is where everybody's going to buy. They're going to think this is the breakout of Ethereum. But guys, we are going to sell the spike. Okay, because what happens then is that it's going to have one more turn downwards. And I'll explain this to you later, what that little pink line means there. This is going to be like an inflection point where Ethereum is going to drop, and we could potentially come back and buy Ethereum here at about $200 more or less. 220, 236 before it then goes up 1,000%. Bitcoin Cash similar. We see Bitcoin Cash going upwards into this level. See this algorithm pink line? You can see that there's a last 2-day spike. We're still waiting for that spike, and that spike could happen at any time. Now, the maximum date that we have is 18 July for Bitcoin Cash. As a matter of fact, you can actually work on all altcoins as the maximum date for the high point to be between 11 July and 18 July, that 7-week period. We're going to go sideways here in Bitcoin Cash, drop into this box here, and then Bitcoin Cash is going to take off, and we also see 1,000% gain in this. Now, let me just quickly explain where the 18 July line comes from. If you were to go back here in our old algorithm cycle with Bitcoin, you can see here that right here at the bottom here, this is where the 53-day, this one, the 53-day algorithm cycle started. And right at the end of that 53 days, we had a big violent move upwards. It looks like a small move, but that was a significant break for Bitcoin. We then went and moved upwards, and we had a significant break again for Bitcoin there. 53 days later is that date there of 26 May, again, a significant break. That is a significant break because it broke certain vital resistance lines. And now as we go on now for the last cycle here, that cycle, the 53-day cycle, is ending here on 18 July. 18 July 2019. Now if you go to Bitcoin Cash, this is why we have the 18 July cycle date here. And you'll see that across the board in all cryptos, that we will start talking about the 11 July and the 18 July cycle point. So we believe that this could be the high between 11 and 18, then a drop into this box here around about 25 September, and then it's going to go upwards. Now think about this now, guys. Bitcoin does exactly the same. When Bitcoin drops here to this point, Bitcoin Cash goes up. But look at what altcoins are going to do. Altcoins at that point, I'm going to go back to Litecoin. Litecoin drops, okay? Remember this, Litecoin drops. And here around about at this point is when Bitcoin goes up and Bitcoin goes up. Ethereum and Litecoin drops. Look at Ethereum as well. In our analysis, Ethereum drops. So this is important that you actually understand this. Remember that most people or everybody in the world is actually down on the value in terms of Bitcoin in their portfolios. Maybe 36% maximum. Some 24, some 36, depending on what coins you bought. Now, the devaluation or destruction in your Bitcoin value is not over yet. But I don't want you to worry about that. I see so many people worrying about it because they can't think about the long-term play here. What you want to do, think about this now. Forget about the dollar value. Remember the beginning of the year, I said, don't worry about the dollar value. It's going to take care of itself. Now, don't worry about the Bitcoin value. It's going to take care of itself. We have one more chance to farm for extra Ethereum, extra Litecoin, maybe extra Neo, extra OMG, extra EOS. Let me show you what's going to happen here. let's say, for example, here with Ethereum, if you have 100 Ethereum right there at that top, and you sell on the top and you come back and you buy right down here at the bottom when it's 200, you may, or if you play through, let's assume then on the bottom here that you have then 200 Ethereum. When Ethereum eventually goes up and it becomes 1,000 or 2,000 Ethereum, you've made insane gains. Sorry, let me just plug my earpiece in here. You'll make insane gains simply because you've increased the amount of Ethereum that you have. Selling high, buying low. At this point here, the week of 9 September to 18 September, Ethereum is going to turn upwards. Guess what? It's going to go up 1,000% plus. I'm only giving you 1,000% because many people can't fathom the real percentage gain that's going to happen in Ethereum. So if that goes up 1,000%, guess what? Bitcoin at that point, guys, only goes up 100%, maybe 200%. But all altcoins at that point is going to outperform Bitcoin. Many analysts are now saying that the time now, it's going to happen now, that the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. We don't see it. We see another month or maybe 2 months of a bit of struggle for altcoins to outperform Bitcoin. Remember this, think long term. By the end of this year, altcoins will by far outperform Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also going to go up. And remember in the beginning of the year, we said that we don't want to hold a lot of Bitcoin. At this moment now, I believe that we should hold maybe 10 to 15% of our funds in Bitcoin value. If you go through the old model portfolio, you'll see from memory, I think there's about 5 to 15% that you must hold in Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is not going to go up, guys, because it's still going to go to 15, 17, 22, 40,000, 100,000 per Bitcoin. But so is altcoins. And I believe that altcoins in that run-up, certain coins are going to outperform Bitcoin. So altcoins are not dead like everybody's talking about it. Just quickly, DigiByte. The DigiByte play with new data that we have, and thank you very much for the DigiByte community that sent us all that information and all that new data about DigiByte. We really appreciate that. We believe that DigiByte has gone up here in A, it dropped here to B. It's now going to go up to this level here, which is C. Then we see another drop. This drop here could even go as this, exactly at that point there of 15 December when DigiByte hit a low point. So be prepared for that. When you see that drop in DigiByte, that is your sign that DigiByte is going to break out and go up 1,000%. I'm just going to go quickly through this because then we're going to stop it and we'll upload that for non-webinar members. Again, XRP, we do expect XRP to go up there. It's going to drop here, go into C. It's going to narrow down. It's going to have one final drop. Can you see here where we talk about that drop there? It's going to have one final drop. Maybe the same level as this, as at about 0.26. When it drops there, it's going to return and go back upwards. But we only see this happening at around about 18, 19 September. Keep in mind, guys, we have got word that there are 2 financial institutions that are going to buy a huge amount of XRP. This could potentially create a spike, and this is why these 2 blue arrows are there. You could see a spike there, and you could see a spike here. The first spike could be about 0.8, sell the spike and come back and buy in the bottom. The second spike could go up to 0.67, sell the spike, come and buy in the bottom. Okay, so that's with regard to XRP. Let's quickly go into EOS. I'm going to show you the 45-day cycle with EOS just quickly. Here, it dropped here on 10 January. 45 days later, we had a high point. Then EOS dropped and it looped and went back upwards to form that high point there. Again, guys, 45 days. 45-day cycle, 45-day cycle. From this point here, it dropped and it went right up to that point, more or less, to form that high point there, around about the 45-day mark. If we take 45 days on, 45 days on gives us a date of 11 July 2019. Now, as EOS came right down here, you're going to now see that EOS is going to start to turn upwards. Could it be that this 45-day cycle ends on 11 July? Or could it maybe end here on 18 July? Let me just put another arrow in there. I want you to pay close attention to this because this could potentially make you another 60 or 70% gains. So that date there is 11 July, more or less. So it could be that we land in this box there, in that box. Now pay attention to this point number 7 there. You can see there's a number 7 there. I'm going to show you Binance quickly. Can you see here is a number 7? Now EOS is right down here at point number E. See point number E there? Let me just delete that. Sorry, not EF. So EOS is right down there at the bottom. EOS still has to go upwards to point number 7. If you want to know what EOS is going to do, I said it multiple times in previous webinars, just follow Binance. Okay, so EOS is going to go up to a high point there, then it's going to drop the same as what Binance did. So it's very easy for you guys actually to follow EOS. Let's go back to EOS. Remember, we're there in the bottom where I showed you where Binance was. And especially for those people that are here from Taiwan as well, I just get a note here that they want me to talk a little bit slower. Guys, we will do another webinar for you guys in Taiwan because we've got a person that actually translates from English into Taiwanese. We'll do the same with people in China, and this will happen later today. The Korean presentation is already uploaded. I speak Korean. I've done the presentation in Korean, so that is uploaded for those of you who live in Korea. So just a quick message for people in Taiwan, China, and Korea. So anyway, I will try and speak a little bit slower and more accurate. Just remember that English is not my first language also. It's actually my third language. So we do believe that EOS is going to break upwards here into this level here of about $10. I have set my sell orders to sell at $9.98, somewhere in that region. With OMG, I've also set my sell orders. I expect that OMG can go to $4. Round about here by 18 July, we are going to have some sort of a spike here. And I've set my sell orders at $3.98, just under $4, so a psychological level. So this is with regard to the Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Digibyte, XRP, OMG, EOS, and obviously BNB. So I'm just going to cut this video off here, guys, and upload that for our members. I'll delete certain things there. But now for our webinar members, let's quickly go back and have a look at Litecoin. Let's open for discussions.